Welcome everyone to episode 11 of the Weekend Rewind. I am not your usual host. That is the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale himself, but he is out doing some stuff right now with his family. So I am Haven Pendergast, and I am joined by another admin here, Caleb Mashed Potatoes. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Mashed potatoes here. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We haven't gotten a chance to run down a lot of shows. This might be an extra long one because we've got I think 5 or 6 different shows to get through. So this should
Yeah,
be a
we
lot
got a
of fun.
few. All right, and coming in from down under, he is our boy, the one and only comic book lad, Grant Gregory. What's up, brother?
I'm going good, mate. I don't have a fancy nickname like some sort of smashed vegetable, so you can just call me the comic book lad. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, no, I'm happy to get into this. It's been a while since I've been on a rewind and joined by a couple of good people. So let's get into it.
All right, last but definitely not least, he is an NWO brother of mine. He is the king, Caleb Kono. What's up, man?
Hey guys, I'm excited to be on the rewind for the first time, and I have something to talk about later on. But yeah, this will be fun.
Good
All right,
stuff.
all right.
Good stuff.
Well, we haven't been on for 2 weeks, so the first match we're going to talk about is one of the biggest matches we've had in a long time. It was basically a pay-per-view, the Game of Factions. So let's go with let's start with Caleb. What are your thoughts about that match, man?
I think it was a hell of a match, like all the way down. Like all 4 matches were a ton of fun. I was kind of pulling a Nico like he's been doing lately, and I was standing up the whole time because I did not even need the edge of my seat. That's how tense this was. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it came down to a really close game. I don't know. Do we want to run down scores? Like it came out with the team we all kind of expected. At least I expected to win. The Apocalypse faction. What up, Grant Gregory? With a stellar performance throughout the entire show. It was incredible to see those guys work. A lot of fun. And then Alpha Alliance and Atomic Nation both tied with 9. And then you guys were there. The NWO had 2.
And who brought in those points? Who helped bring in those points right here? Right here.
All right, before we get to the next guy up here, I just want to big up to Brooklyn and Caleb for putting that all together, man. They really did an amazing job with that shit, so that was big on them. But let's go with King. You were playing in that match with us. What were your thoughts of that match?
I thought it was really intense of a match, and I kind of, as a mascot for another faction here at this table now, I have to say Sons of Apocalypse were dominant and really, really awesome the whole time. So it was really interesting to see how they did. However, I did beat one member of the Sons of Apocalypse in my Inner Geekdom round, which I am proud of my own performance there. That I went toe to toe with like Sandy and Robert, all the way through to the end there when I started missing a few that I shouldn't have. But yeah, that was a really fun round. And I think I proved how strong I am in Inner Geekdom with that round. So, Sons of Apocalypse.
That is definitely true. That is definitely true. And one of the guys that was his team won the whole damn thing. The powerhouse Sons of Apocalypse. Grant, what do you thought about that match?
I'm overly excited the fact that we won, but Sons of Apocalypse is mine and Sean's team. It's our tag team. Our faction is called Apocalypse, so it was technically Apocalypse that won the thing, not Sons of Apocalypse. We had a great team. I think that everyone performed the best that we could. Hey, I didn't come through with a win. I only got 9 points, and I ran into the Titan that is Chance, and couldn't beat him in the category that I was bragging the most about, which was TV. I might have been the movie champion, but I was bragging the most about TV, and I should have listened to one question, and I didn't, and I was a complete idiot about it after looking it back. Completely my fault. It would have come down to a tie, but you know what? We won at the end of the day. I'm absolutely proud of everyone. And the fact of the matter is, one team has to win, one team has to come last and second, third, and everything. And I have no ill will or animosity or any sort of like boasting towards the other team. The fact of the matter is, yeah, NWO didn't perform as good as they would like, but you know what? The fact of the matter is, they performed. Every team performed the best that they could, and whatever happened, happened, and that's how the way it works. Same time next year could be a completely different story.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. My thoughts on the match was it was amazing. It was a great match. It was a great turnout from all the players, jumping in like that. I'm gonna talk about the NWO a little bit. That was we scrambled at the end to get a player in. Somebody had to drop out, so we got a player in. Three of the guys that played, it was their first time being on TV. Well, one guy was played before, but we try to play hard music. It's one of my weak ones, but I had to go against the beast known as Luca, so I figured I was going to lose the music division. But it was fun, man.
Robbed by Rob. What was it? Rob Thompson?
Thompson, yeah.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah, he's a part of that 40 Matchbox group, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was watching the Cavs rewind, and Tristan Thompson was on. So I was just, I don't know, but and some of these guys, I don't fucking know their names. I just know this music, but it was fun, and hey, all of us had fun. We held our heads high at the end. We don't care. We lost the match. It was good seeing Paul debut. He was tough as hell in movies. Grant, he did good in his round. So, they were a powerhouse, man, but we try to keep up. But at the end of the day, I had a lot of fun, man. And that match was fucking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, even you were just talking about the movie match. Like, I mean, you had the resurgence of the cleaner for the NWO, which was an unexpected surprise of William Eguizable. That was awesome to see. Like one of the guys he was like, most people don't remember him, but he was 2-0. Coming into this, he had a blood sport and a TV match. He beat Alex and Russell.
Yep.
And like seeing like him and Paul, like both basically kind of making debuts like for now, and then like them battling it out was awesome. Freaking Jessica, it was so good.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel for Jess. She scored 9 points in her match, and lost. I scored 9 points in my match and lost. So I get exactly how that feels. Like I completely understand. Like when you're so close, yet so far away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's just a credit to the amount of talent that we have in these factions. It was incredible. I mean, even going into the NWO, like, I mean, you guys didn't do so hot. You had a couple debuting players, but I mean, William like put up a good fight. Caleb put up a really good fight. He surprised everybody in Geekdom. I mean, we all knew Luca was gonna just sweep music, so that was a write-off.
Yep.
But like it was good, man. Every match was a lot of fun.
I'll let you know a little secret. It was so close between whether it was me or Luca that was going to take music. We were so close between it, and I went with, because like I mean everyone's seen the match that me and Luca have been in. We scored fucking like 150 points between us. It was ridiculous.
That was just in round 2.
Yeah. And I went with a guy who, he beat me. I trusted him. He knows a lot more about music than I do. I just have a very good memory of remembering certain songs and titles. And that's the beauty of round 2 for me. I love round 2 in Jukebox.
Awesome. Before we get into our next match, which was another big match, final thoughts?
My final thoughts is everything that was ran from the back end of it. I'm 100% appreciative of what everyone did. The fact of the matter is how well and how smoothly it ran. Sure, there was some hiccups after the fact. We're not going to get into that, but there were some hiccups afterwards. But during the match, it was smooth. Like it was 2.5 hours plus whatever it was, and
Almost 3.
yeah, it flew by. It was great, and I think it's a big testament because we're showing what we can do with Checkerboard Trivia as a group that no other group is doing, and I think that's the reason why it was so successful.
Yep. Better believe
Yeah,
the hype is
absolutely.
real.
And then if I'm just gonna run through and just say, I think yeah, every faction who showed up came to play. Even if they didn't bring home the win, us, we all had. There was a faction MVP on each team, and there was yeah, it was really well put together. And so yeah, thanks everyone for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I like hats off to all the faction members that were the representatives helping us out with getting everybody in and out. That happened so smooth. Like it made it in terms of like making player switches. That was like that was head and shoulders better than the free for all. In terms of like having to wait for people, introducing people, it all went so smooth. And yeah, just a huge shout out to Brooklyn for he did pretty much like I helped write questions, but he did everything else. He organized the scheduling, he got everybody together, he figured out the format. So like huge shout out to Brooklyn. Like this would not have happened without him, and it was awesome because of him.
And on a side note, one of my favorite moments of that entire thing was when Paul jumped in and I saw your face, Caleb, and Brooklyn's face. It was like that. It was priceless. I wish it was actually on live because I saw it down the bottom corner of the screen. It was perfect.
Yeah, I literally was like, "Oh God."
All right, we're gonna move on. I just want to say, yeah, Brooklyn. That's Brooklyn Vale. You can find him on Facebook. Send him a friend request. Really nice guy. He is married, ladies, so watch out. Keep your hands to yourselves. All right, the next big match we had, I believe, the next day, if I'm not mistaken, we had the Arrowverse match.
That is correct.
We had 7 players, and Caleb was hosting that one. So let's go to the King first. You seen the match? What you thought about it, brother?
All I know is I would have totally lost that match, 100%. That was so hard and so intense. And Eli, oh my gosh, Eli, that guy's so good. I don't know how he does that. I don't know how any of the people who competed could have answered those questions. But yeah, that was I would have lost that match. But good job, Eli. That was good.
Awesome. Let's go to Grant.
I got to agree with what he was saying. I think Eli, it was fantastic. I'm only disappointed that I had other commitments that I couldn't participate. But I would have done quite well. Not saying whether I would have won or lost. I'm just saying I would have done quite well, and looking forward to potentially sometime in the future, maybe competing with some of these people in a similar type event.
Awesome. Let's go to mashed potatoes, brother. You were there.
I was there. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. We I think we both binged an insane amount of CW stuff on Netflix. It was a ton of fun though. We got to see Thomas again, ChronoFet, my buddy. Came in and put on a great showing. Came in second, I believe.
4th.
And then Nico came back and showed that if it's comic books or comic book TV, he knows it all. Came in and just barely lost on that last in round 3. But it was this was so much fun. Like it was like just a ton of fun to write and everything. We just got to like geek out about probably the best stuff on TV at least on network TV, in my opinion. It was a ton of fun. And I got to do a few like deep cuts, and then there were a few more that I thought were gimmies that like only one or two people got.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I agree. You had a couple of ones where you were like, "Oh, I thought that was easy." Like you could see the shock in your face. And I'm like, "Dude, that's a good question." And you're like, "Oh, I thought that was easy." I love that. That's the best part about
it. Sweet, good stuff. All right, go ahead and yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Came out with Eli as the champion. Again, another debuting player. I know he was in There Will Be Trivia. So that was so I've seen him play over there. But making a TV debut, which was like stellar. That guy did so good in the match. I think he's the only person who hit like past their 3-point name, like the actor name. Yep. Which was impressive because those were some hard freaking actor names.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think I had a lot of fun. I can't wait to do another one. We're doing another one today. Shameless plug. Check it out, Breaking Bad. But yeah, this one's shaping up to be just as much fun.
Hell yeah, man! That match, I got a chance to participate in it. And we had, like you said, Thomas. He played one time before in IG, so that was cool having him in that match. Debuting in the TV. And Eli, for a debuting match, he took the win home. But we had it went down like this. Eli came in at number 1. He won the match. I came in at second place. Nico came in third. I was glad to beat him, so I sat his ass down. And then Thomas was 4th. Kane was 5th. Hunter was 6th, and Malcolm was 7th in that match. So it was a fun match. We had a lot of players. It was a good one.
Can I pose a question for you, Haven? Do you think that if you knew more actor names, you think that you would have won that?
Yeah, if I would have knew the name of the actor that they asked me the question to, I would have won that. But I didn't, so I lost.
I mean, what can you expect when he can't even really pronounce the last names of the people in his faction?
Well, that's true. He also he did introduce Caleb Kono, so that's okay. So.
No, it's Coho. I don't know. I always slip my tongue up. My fault, brother. Jesus.
So good. No, but here's I'm gonna issue a challenge. All right, Grant, do you still run your comic book league? Is that still going on?
Okay, the comic book league is going at the moment. Because I decided to take a step back. We have Kane as the champion. He's the current champion at the moment.
Okay. So you know how badly I've wanted to get back into that ring and keep going. I want to issue a formal challenge to Nico. Meet me over in Grant's comic book league, and I will humbly beat you to a pulp because I need that kind of satisfaction for myself right now.
So you want a one-on-one match with Nico?
Yep, in the comic book book league.
If Nico is happy with that, then that's something that I think I can facilitate.
All right, that's what I want. Nico, you let me know.
Because Nico is the higher ranked opponent in that situation. If he doesn't want to do it, I can't force the situation. But if he's happy with that, then yeah, I'm happy to write it. I've already got questions written for a match, so.
All right, you know what, Nico? You let me know. You let Grant know, and I'm taking you down.
All right, you heard it here first. Official challenge. All right, moving right along. We're gonna go to a movie match we had that week, and that was Christopher C. Dub Woodburn versus Raul Rodriguez in Raul's debuting match. That was a close match, went down to the end. I had a lot of fun being there. So let's go to Grant first. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it might have been close, but I'm more in the thing that I kind of felt like that Woodburn was playing with his bait a little bit, playing with his prey, let him get a little bit. There's no way in the world Woodburn should have made it as close as what it was. Woodburn is a much better competitor than what it was. Whether he had a bad day, what it was, he's pulled out much stronger answers a number of times. I think Woodburn should have probably annihilated him. That being said, one of the most enjoyable matches that I've seen in quite a while. I really liked it. Like it was really enjoyable. I just thought Woodburn was going to fucking annihilate him. In all honesty.
Well, Well, yeah, well, that's because he was debuting player, but Raul he's been around a little while. Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, he's a player that I've seen in the Fan React League. He lives and breathes Schmodown. So I kind of expected him to be good. I didn't. I don't know. I didn't expect this match to be as good as it was, though. I think it turned out really well, despite the technical difficulties that made us restart.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Raul and Christopher had a good like back and forth during the match and all that. It was a lot of fun to watch that match. It was a friendly, fun match, and I felt like that's the kind of match we needed, and it delivered perfectly.
True indeed. Caleb, the King.
As someone who's been in the same ring as Cito, he had a bad day when he played me, and I almost beat him. So I think C-Dub has good days. He has bad days. He's not unbeatable, but he's also not weak. So I do think he might have been messing around with Raul a little bit, but I think I could take Woodburn if we met up again. But yeah.
He's playing with his food. I agree.
I disagree with both you guys. We did have technical difficulties because my laptop was somehow it got on airplane mode, so that's what threw my shit all out of whack. But Raul, he plays a lot, and he always does the first rounds reactions.
Yeah.
And,
I know of Real, and I know he's a very knowledgeable bloke. I just with how Woodburn played, that was all I'm saying. I'm not taking nothing away from Raul. Is all I'm saying. So.
Yeah, it was a really fun match. All four of us that were there, I had a blast. I was like, holy shit, this was such a fun match. The questions I thought were, trying to improve with those, so I spaced them out. But yeah, it came down to C-Dub getting the win by 2 points. So Raul got the L, but I can see him coming back soon and picking up some, wins in the future. All right, with that one out the way, we're going to Monday Jukebox. We had Brooklyn, the host of Jukebox, with guests Luca and Malcolm, and they were doing the top 10 Beatles songs. And I do have the list here. If you guys,
there was
let's see this list.
Kane and Nico.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. Oh, let's go to that first, I guess. My fault.
So in between all that, we had a jukebox match the Monday before the Countdown Beatles thing, and it was the Cosmic Night Fury playing in his third match of 3 days, in a very fun. It seemed like one and done for both of these players, with Kane and Nico. A lot of fun. Not a high scoring match, but it was in music, so you never know how it's gonna go. Also an appearance by Atomic Ed Sale, co-hosting for the first time, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Maybe he'll be making a debut in actual competition soon. That'd be pretty fun. Because I know him and Brooklyn are a team in other leagues. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a fun match. Like I said, not high scoring, but Nico's reaction when he whenever he answered a question right was hilarious.
That's true. All right, let's go to the King first. Did you watch it?
Yeah, Nico had a nice little tear here in those 3 days. Nice performances from Nico, but he's getting a little too cocky, which is why I issued that comic book challenge. But yeah, yeah, I think Nico needs to remember his place and get knocked down a few pegs again. So
awesome.
That's all I'll say.
Grant.
I haven't actually seen this match, so I'm gonna refrain from. It's literally looking at my list now. It's in the last 2 months. It's the one match that I haven't seen. So I'm gonna refrain because I don't know. I don't know who wins. I'm assuming it's Nico from what Caleb was saying, but I'm not gonna say anything because I haven't actually watched it.
Okay.
Well,
my
it's certainly a fun one. Again, not a high scoring match, but there's a lot of crap talk and fun in it.
Oh yeah, it was. Nico was, like you guys said, Nico was played 3 matches in 3 days, so I know he's gonna take some time to recharge his battery.
I don't think he sat down once.
Nope, they probably had to put an IV in him after that, man. Get him his stuff back. Kane played tough, but they both, like you said, it was a low scoring match, but it was a fun match to watch, and it looks like they probably both retired from the jukebox league, so Nico got his win, make him a little closer to becoming a member of the cycle. All right, so with that out the way, let's go to the Beatles playlist.
Yeah, I want to hear this top 10 because I didn't get a chance to actually watch.
All right. Number 10, we have Little Help from My Friends. Number 9, I Want You. Number 8 was Here Comes the Sun. Number 7 was Helter Skelter. Number 6 was Help. Number 5 is All You Need Is Love. Number 4, Tomorrow Never Knows. Number 3 was Hey June. Number 2, A Day in the Life. And the number 1 Beatles song was Eleanor Rigby.
Really? Okay, I have issues there. I have issues there.
All right, hold on. Yeah, we'll go to you first, King. Go ahead, brother.
There are 3 notable Beatles songs that are actually very good that were omitted. Yesterday, Blackbird, and the one that I think is the biggest travesty, there is no Twist and Shout on that list. And Twist and Shout is easily the Beatles' most fun song. And it's thanks to Ferris Bueller, that song should be on that top 10 easily. And I'm actually really frustrated.
I believe it was Malcolm's number 7 or something like that. Malcolm brought that up.
Malcolm's smart then.
So
no Yesterday and no Blackbird. Wow.
Just so I'm clear, so was Hard Day's Night not on the list?
I believe Brooklyn might have had it. I think one of them had it on their list.
And
but
I Want to Hold Your Hand wasn't there
either. No. I think Luca might have shot that one down because of it being so
poppy.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand, Luca, where you're coming from, but no, it's still great.
Yeah, I agree.
Love you, brother, but no, you're wrong. It's still good.
Yes, indeed. I was definitely shouting for a few of my picks in the chat. You can probably still see it in the live chat replay. I don't know how long that lasts, but yeah, I was being pretty vocal in that chat. I will say thank God that Luca was there though, because they really did get like some of their more like rocky and like heavy and experimental stuff on there because of that, and that made me pretty happy. Yeah, he also put on I Want You, She's So Heavy. Like,
yeah, I love that one. That's a great song.
I think that one's okay, but Helter Skelter's dope. That's a fun rock song.
Yeah, it made the list at number 7 for them. It was a collective, they all had their own separate 10, and then they had to figure out which ones, put in order. They all had to agree on them. So yeah, it was fun.
That being
it was good discussion to watch.
No matter, even if it was a top 20 or top 25, when you come to the Beatles, you're always going to have someone say, "Oh, well, these are the top 25." You're like, "Yeah, but what about those 4 songs? What about these ones?"
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, really?
Overall,
Penny Lane wasn't in there. I love that.
Your songs, so
Let It Be.
Let It Be, I believe, was on somebody's list. I like most of these were on at least one of their lists. But
wait, sorry. So Let It Be wasn't in there?
No, it wasn't.
Oh shit! I just assumed it was automatically on there.
And I don't think Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band's not in there either.
Nope, it wasn't. It didn't make the top 10 list.
That's rough.
I definitely wanted some for the benefit of Mr. Kite. That was my pick.
All right.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on that one?
I
They're
love
wrong,
those
but
lists
okay.
because they're always decisive, and people who are on that match will defend them to the death, and people who aren't will always say you have no idea what real music is, and that's the best part about it is because all it does is it creates discussion, and that's what I like.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah, like I said, like these things, like they always get me kind of hot and bothered because it's it's also subjective. It's a lot of fun. And it definitely sparks conversation, which that's the most fun part when you're just like mentioning things and like even just throwing out songs that people may or may not have heard. Like I don't think everybody's heard all the songs that were on that list somehow.
And that's the thing. If you're a good debater, you could literally go, you know what? I'm going to put a song that I know should not get on there, but I'm going to put every effort in to putting it on there.
I did that with the top 10 rappers. That was my number one pick was Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I tried to debate him onto the list.
Oh, dude, that was just so cringy. I'm yeah.
We're not going to talk about that one. Well, it's not really a debate. It's it's all subjective because people love certain songs that other people don't love. So that's what's cool about when you do a top 10 list. Because you see what other people like. Where their mind goes to with certain songs. So it was a hell of a fun to watch. Make sure you guys go back, man. These last 2 weeks, even with some setbacks, man, we've had some stellar ass shit going on here. Because the next one we're going to talk about is the wrestling 5-way match. That
that was a good
really
one.
It really got my blood pumped up, man. Made me made me feel good after it, and got me excited to get back on track. We had I'm gonna go with the players in the match and the list of how they won, who won. We had Matthew debuting in wrestling, and he won the match. Malcolm came in second. Richard, he debuted also in wrestling that day. He came in third. C-Dub played for fun, had a hell of a time. He came in fourth, and then Jay was a debuting player also. Him and Richard, I think, are going to do better in movies, but Jay debuted in wrestling. He had a lot of fun. So I had a co-host, the Queen, Nicole Morrison, was there. So let's go to mashed potatoes. What you thought about that match?
I've been saying this a lot. Like it sounds disingenuous now to say that was a really fun match. But it was. It was interesting because you had like all these people debuting, and just you had literally every variation of skill level in there. You had like somebody who was really great, another guy who like was solid, but like Richard was really surprising. Came in there and was really solid. Woodburn held his own, and then Jay Burns, for the newbie, didn't hit a single question, but man, he was a lot of fun to listen to.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a character. He's gonna be a character.
Definitely a character. I was an instant fan of him, just because like it was so silly and fun. But then like the complete opposite of that, I think were Richard and Matthew.
Matthew.
Yeah, they killed it, man. They put on like a really impressive display. And yeah, like I especially from a guy who was kind of just like, yeah, I'll play in wrestling, I guess, but like I'm more focused on movies, and like coming in and taking a guy who joined up to play in wrestling with Matthew, and going as far as he did was very impressive. We got to watch out for both of these guys.
Oh yeah, and the one guy that only played a match before, Malcolm.
Malcolm,
he came
too.
in second place.
Came in second. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where did that come from? Like I know he knows his wrestling, but I wow, he did a lot better than I was expecting, and maybe I should learn better than to keep underestimating Malcolm.
True indeed. Grant.
Well, I'm going to agree with one thing that Caleb said. The guy might not have scored a lot of points, but my God, am I a fan? Absolutely. I love that. The guy who come dead last and the guy who come first, I absolutely love. Polar opposites.
Absolutely.
The guy that was entertaining as hell, a guy that's serious as hell, and the fact of the matter is, the guy Matt who won, he has a very distinct look, and I love someone who you look at it and he's a tall, skinny bloke with big hair. He looks like a brush. I love it. I think he just keep doing what he's doing. I think if he wants to do it in other leagues, he should do it. Give himself a nickname or something like that. And the absolute joy when he found that he won, when he just threw his hands in the air as soon as he realized that he won. I loved that because it was. I'm not saying I don't know the bloke. I don't say whether it's new to him, but it was so exciting to see that level of excitement again. Like he's like, yes, I did it. Like it was a vindication for himself. That being said, if I was in the match, things would have been a little bit different. Let's just say that. There would have been 2 people that scored 0. Maybe. I think I knew 1 or 2 of them, maybe. But I also had double answers when I said, oh, it's either this one or this one, and one of them was right. So essentially, I was the same as the guy that got last, but not as entertaining. So I enjoyed it.
Get the blue blazer question in. I think you did get that one in the chat. I saw.
Yeah, blue blazer. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah. Because I went blue blazer question mark. I went, wait a minute. I know that's when he died and when he fell, but I couldn't remember if that was his first one. I couldn't remember. Yeah, so I was like, I went with the one that I knew. So
yeah,
but no, I love the match. I thought it was great. It was fun, and I like those matches because I don't know anything about it. With movies, I'm more serious, but with the ones that I don't know about, and when I get a few questions, I'm like Nico when he gets a question in another category. I'm like, yes, I got one.
Yeah,
it's almost like fucking McCougar when he gets something, and you want to run around going, oh, I got something. When I remember something from the '93 fucking Royal Rumble, I'm like, oh god, I remember that. So, but no, it was good. I love it. So, yeah.
All right, the king.
I don't know how people answer questions about wrestling because I would get every single one wrong unless you ask me about the storyline of Triple H or anything about Andy Kaufman. That's about it. I'd lose. So that's why I turned down Hunter's Challenge. That's why I will never be playing in wrestling. So I really, 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 really enjoyed the competitors. It was really fun to watch. But yeah.
All right.
I could never compete.
Yeah, it was a hell of a match, and it got, like I said, it got me pumped up to get back with the wrestling. We might even be, if we have our fingers crossed, later on tonight, we'll be doing the wrestling championship match. Shameless plug. But that's if it all goes according to plan, it should be at 7 p.m. tonight. But anyway,
nice.
Yeah. With that out the way, let's go to Caleb Mashed Potatoes division, the IG. He had a bunch of matches thrown out in the last couple of days. So, Caleb, which one you want to start with?
I think we should just start with the first, or we could just do the event as a whole. I don't know. I guess we'll just start with the first one, which was the Infinity Gauntlet match. This was entirely Kane's idea. Came up with it, ran it, did it. I helped write some questions. That's it. But he ran a great event. Maybe it ended a little anticlimactically, but it's what happens when it's a gauntlet style match. We kind of took the word gauntlet and twisted it to mean like 3 things, because it was gauntlet style, but like also we wanted them to suffer. Like this match was the hardest questions that me and Kane could think of, like, writing, and there were literally hundreds more probably that we wrote. We wrote so many questions, literally just like watch a movie and write questions the whole time through it, and then picked out the hardest questions. And it went super well. Brooklyn came out with that miracle run of taking out 3 competitors. Despite him being like, I'm gonna lose right away. That was that was a lot of fun. And then coming down and coming down to Woodburn and C-Dub, or no, Jesus,
Woodburn and C-Dub.
Woodburn and Nico was a lot of fun. You know, a little bit disappointed that my partner couldn't take the win there, unfortunately. But it was, you know, it was tough. You know, we wanted it to be tough, and it was. And you know, Nico ended up winning on a sudden death question. So it was my hats off to everybody involved in that. That was awesome.
True. Let's go to the king.
All I'm going to repeat is Nico needs to be taken down a few pegs. He's getting a little too big for his britches there, and I think I'm going to take him down in that comic book league.
Cool.
That's all I've got to say. All
right. Short and sweet. Grant.
I'm going to say one thing. I love the fact that this match happened. It was unfortunate that I was supposed to be in it, and it was on the one day that I had something doing for the entire day. So I only found out about the match happening after, you know, it was at the end of the night. That being said, once I watched it, Jesus Christ, Brooklyn is a fucking stud. My God. That was incredible. I loved that. For a bloke who had a bad run in doing comic book leagues and sort of stuff, and just to excel the way that he did, couldn't be prouder of him. Yeah, you say it was a little bit anticlimactic at the last match. That being said, but everyone knows that Nico he's a comic book nerd that likes to fight, and C-Dub is a movie nerd. And the fact of the matter is that when it boils down to the two things, if depending on how it balances with the questions, if they're a little bit more comic book based or if they're a little bit more movie based on certain things, and it went Nico's way. I don't like Nico's reaction. I don't think he thought that he was going to win, and then when he did, it was a great moment. And something like this happens again in the future, and I'm available to be a part of it, I would absolutely love to do it. All credit to everyone who ran it, all the competitors. I think it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I got nothing more to say then. I just wish this sort of thing would happen more often.
Awesome. Yeah.
Seeing as you were slated to be one of the players, how did you do on your watch along?
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like a dickhead saying that I would have won, but I got 3 questions wrong in the entire match.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Wow.
And that being said, 2 of them were in the round that I wasn't actually a part of if I was playing, because I wouldn't have been a part of the first round. I got 2 wrong in the first round.
Oh wow! Okay.
So,
so where you would have been playing, only 1 wrong. That's pretty impressive.
That being said, I love the questions because I wrote questions very similar to a lot of these, but they were a little bit. I gave a little bit more details with the question. So whether if I didn't write those sort of questions, I don't know whether I would have known them or not.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I feel like
it makes a difference.
Helps.
Especially when you're researching actors, plot points, certain things, and side characters. Side characters is a huge thing that no one thinks about. and things that happened, and that was I think that's what they would have gave me the edge. That being said, while if I was doing it, whether I would have got it or remembered at the time, who knows? So,
Very true.
but no,
Very true.
Nico won it fair and square. It was fantastic. I loved it, and I can't wait to see another one like it again.
Awesome.
I think that brings us to the heartbreaking match.
Well, did you have any thoughts on it?
I
Hayden?
already gave my thoughts.
Oh yeah. That's like you said. Yeah. To me, Brooklyn was a MVP, man. That dude, he showed a different side of him, man, that I didn't know. Yeah, he was one of the highlights. And yeah, at the end, the last question, it was cool to see C-Dub standing there with Nico. And it could have went either way, but he got the question right, and Nico won a match. So that was cool, man. And that was one of his I believe 3 in a row, man. So that dude was he had a lot of tough matches, and for him to come close in a few of them and actually win one, that was big. That was impressive for Nico.
I'm gonna say Brooklyn wasn't the MVP. He was a fucking stud. That has to be the technical title. That's what it was.
Well, fucking stud. Yep.
Yes, indeed. All right. And now we'll move to the supposedly heartbreaking match that Caleb was talking about. And that is, of course, the Infinity War triple threat grudge match with, of course, the King, Caleb Coho, Mark Harley Quinn Boric, and RJ, the Red Ranger Villarreal. I will go ahead and get Haven's thoughts first, because apparently we've switched roles.
I believe that match was rigged. They didn't want the King to win. He had an uphill battle the whole time, and if I was him, I would have just said, you know what, I'm out. I deserve better than this. But he stood there like a man. He took it. That Superman one, they didn't have the specific answer for it. So his question was right. He should have got the 2 points there. Like I said, every twist and turn to keep NWO down. But he fought hard, and it was fun. It was fun to watch my brother out there kicking ass.
Yeah, it was fun. In response to the whole Superman thing, I wrote that question. He very specifically asked the guy to stop doing that. Then the guy pours a drink on his head, and he immediately goes outside and destroys his truck. So
he quit after that because the guy pushed him too. The guy pushed him. The guy threw the can at his head. The guy was talking to the chick. All that, caused it to me. But it was neither here nor there. When I watched it, that's what my thing was. Any of those answers could have been acceptable because it all led to him having to quit his job before he fucking killed that guy.
That's true. We'll agree on that.
No, he didn't kill him. He smashed his truck. There's a big difference.
No, I said before he killed the guy. He quit his job before he killed the guy.
Oh yeah, well, he did a lot of things before he killed Zod. Yes, obviously, but I don't think that was.
No, I'm talking about the truck driver. He could have killed him in the restaurant, but he quit his job, went outside, destroyed his truck, and kept moving before he would have fucking. He was gonna rip that guy apart if one more shit.
Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah, in terms of I definitely don't think Caleb got screwed. There definitely was a bias against him in this match, though. Nobody wanted him to win. I will say everything got out of this.
There's always a bias against Caleb. We call it. There's the elephant in the room, and no one's talking about it. There's always a bias against Caleb, whether he deserves it or not. There is always a bias against Caleb.
That is
not from me, not from his NWO brothers and sister. That's true. But that being said, like I do agree with all the calls. I actually got to see the full cut version of the match before it was edited, and I think they did everything right. If not impartially, but they definitely made the right calls on those in those situations.
it's a a lot of things happened in that match. We weren't exactly expecting a high scoring match. But what I was expecting was a lot of crap to be talked, a lot of words being thrown back and forth, and a lot of people getting angry. And we got exactly that. There was some of the highlights. I feel like there's going to be some of those moments on the highlight reel of whenever that ever happens. Because
you mean the Jack of all trivia best of DVD?
Yes, absolutely. In production now. We're gonna crowdfund it. It's gonna be a documentary.
We can call it "We're Not Joking Around."
There you go. I like it. Gonna shop it around to some studios now, because there's studios in Chicago, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, RJ was super happy because he got a toy to play with on the floor, apparently. At the end of it, also, Mark retired, which it's sad to see him go. But hopefully that means he's got more time to, do things behind the scenes. It seems like he wanted to do, which is going to be awesome. So we definitely haven't seen the last of Harley Quinn. Just maybe not hearing him on getting people riled up so much anymore.
Well, I mean, it depends on what happens with every match.
That's very true.
Okay, so now it's my turn to talk about it, right? Or do we want to?
Oh, so you're still here, are you, Caleb? Sorry, I forgot, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure,
Grant,
why not?
Grant, did you get to talk about it? Because I was going to go last because I have a thing to say.
Well, go ahead and let Grant throw some thoughts in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm mucking around. You go for it, Caleb.
Okay. All right. So here's my issue with this match. Before we started airing, it was all my fault. But me and Mark were going back and forth about our whole stipulation where if I beat him, he retired. If he beat me, I was the mascot for Apocalypse for 2 months. And RJ sitting there, and we were all like, okay, RJ, you want a stipulation? What's your stipulation? And we threw in the toy stipulation, and he was so passive about the match at the beginning. And as soon as we put the toy there, which was my fault, he turned on the charm and won. So I'm so upset with myself for opening my big mouth about the freaking stipulations, because if I had just kept it quiet, I would have come ahead of RJ, and I'm so upset. And then also the Superman question, yeah, that was a crap show for me. I do think I was right, but at the same time I could see me being wrong. And then what makes me so upset was round three. They breezed through the explanation, and I just was like, okay, sure, fine, explanation, whatever. And I totally did not remember I could go for extra points to decrease my point level. If I'd done that, I'd have won. If I would have remembered that, or if they would have highlighted that harder for me. But that was heartbreaking.
Can I ask you a question, Cal? Are you saying that is it the fault of the people who were running it that you didn't get the opportunity to win it, or that they explained it and you forgot about it?
I would say it's a combination of the two. I think when they were announcing it, they kind of just breezed through it because it was procedural. But at the same time, I should have spoken up and been like, hey, can you emphasize that again for me? Because I need to be able to remember and understand, like, hey, I can go for multiple whatever, or ask for something else to get a hint. But yeah, that was a heartbreaker match. After that one, after the cameras turned off, even I felt that for a week. I felt that really hard. That hurt. So now I'm technically a member of Apocalypse for 2 months. Is that right, Grant? Mascot.
Oh yeah.
And as a part of your mascot duties, you should say hello to Sean, who's in the chat room.
Hello, Sir Sean Sandberg, the best of all time.
Yeah, I just want to throw in one thing real quick. That match was a great match to watch. If you want to get riled up with 3 good shit talkers, this was a good fun match. They went back and
Oh,
forth with it,
absolutely.
and
Like,
it was a hell of a
especially,
watch.
especially after it finished. As soon as the match finished, like, and you still got the 10 minutes before
Yeah.
the stream finished. It was great. I loved that. It was like my favorite part.
Oh man, the RJ Baby
Discount
talk
store.
is
Oh.
classic. Oh, you guys had
Is-
me rolling.
He
on
is
the floor.
discount Sam Levine, dollar store Sam Levine. I will say that to my grave. He is dollar store Sam Levine.
I like
Yeah.
Sam Levine. What are you trying to say?
I like Sam Levine
He's
too, but
the
he's dollar store
GoBots.
Sam
He's
Levine.
the GoBots version of Sam Levine,
You
apparently,
shut your dirty mouth.
which is still better than most people at movie trivia. We'll say that.
Oh, he's having a go at you, Haven. Did you hear that?
What? You talking about me?
Nothing. All right, and then did you have any final thoughts, Haven? No.
No, that was it.
All right, and that takes us into the last match that we've got to talk about, the championship.
Woo!
For the strap, the undisputed champion of the Inner Geekdom world of Jack of All Trivia. There's a lot of qualifiers there. Chance the Titan Ellison versus the undefeated #1 contender, Robert Parker. Wow, what can you say, man? These guys, on average, miss at most 2 questions a match. Going into this championship match was awesome. I was so hyped for this match. I think sadly somehow it ended up being one of the least talked about of these 3. Just because there was so much going on in the other ones. And this was, it was a straightforward battle between, 2 of the best Inner Geekdom, most well-rounded Inner Geekdom players we have. It was epic. So let's go to, I guess, Grant first.
All right. Well, I liked the match. I do have a tiny issue with certain questions involving some sort of Star Trek based things. We'll go with. I thought they were very easy questions to the point where they were. I mean, yeah,
Not
okay.
championship level questions.
No, okay. I write questions. Everyone, we write questions, so we know what levels of certain things, and sometimes what we know isn't what other people know, and I get that. But I just felt like all those ones were the easiest questions that I would have thought of come out. Apart from that, I love the match. And the fact that it come down to this, it was that. That's how close it was. It was nothing. But that being said, the Star Trek things, I thought they were 1-point questions at best. Apart from that, I had no other issues with it. That was my only issue with it, and I thought that was an enjoyable match. But I was like, I can understand. I mean, Chance is not a big Star Wars guy, because we've talked about it, and he's not a big Star Wars. But I mean, that's a big, if you're gonna go championship level, do championship level questions for every wedge on the wheel, for whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Lord of the Rings, whatever it is, make it as not so much as deep cut as you can, but make it a good, strong, hard match. And I kind of felt like it was. With those questions, I love the scores and soundtracks questions. They were great questions. I knew 3 out of 4, but and that really made me think that was great. But I just didn't think the Star Trek ones were.
Star Trek ones were up to snuff.
But every other round, I enjoyed it. The first round questions, I thought they stepped it up. and that's what you want. You want for a championship round, you want it to be a big, high-scoring match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it was.
And
That's
they
what it was.
definitely delivered on that end. Both of them broke the point scored record. I mean, granted, it is in a 5-round format, but still, it's an impressive feat. Yeah, in terms of the questions, that's the only match that I didn't have any part in writing for. So yeah, I can't answer any of the questions. To that, I do feel like they were easy. I also feel like at least one of those questions had already been asked.
Yeah,
in
I
previous
was going to bring
matches.
that up, but that being said, that happens before. But
Yep.
yeah, with multiple leagues and other things that happen in different things, it's really hard to take track. Keep track. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But in IGI specifically, very much so. Like try to keep track of the questions. But yeah, I guess it kind of slipped through the cracks for those guys. Unfortunately, I agree that they were easy questions. I don't think that it took away from the match that much, but I see your point. And I guess yeah, it is unfortunate, but the rest of the match for sure was fantastic to me. And with that, I think we'll go over to Haven.
Yeah, I thought it was. Hey, man, when you got the two strong competitors in IG, a guy that's undefeated and a guy that's a champion. Maybe it was a little overlooked, but these guys, man, they bring their A games. It was a hell of a match. They scored a bunch of points. Yeah, maybe some questions might have been easy, but hey, you're gonna have easy questions, you're gonna have hard ones. But at the end, it came down to the wire, man, and it was a fun, hell of a championship match to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the King, any thoughts on the IG Championship bout?
You're never going to hear me say this again. You're never going to hear me say this anytime after this ever again. I was cheering for Robert the entire time, and I'm a little disappointed that he couldn't pull it out. I really wanted Robert to win because that would have given me the biggest fire to go back and try and get Ryan, to beat RJ, to beat anyone, just climb my way all the way up to get a number one contender match and win and get a champion match because I just wanted to get back and beat Robert again. And that would have been the biggest motivator for me to go for it because I know I can beat Robert. I know I can because I was so close. I've been brushing up on Lord of the Rings and I've been brushing up on Harry Potter. But yeah, it's just I was cheering him on because I needed that motivator. But yeah, no. And also because never going to hear me say this again. I like Robert a lot. So yeah.
I believe in you, Caleb. You can do this.
Then give me that number one contender match, Grant.
I don't have the control of it.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you're part of the thing, right? Yeah.
I mean, technically, I am. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, you're part of the thing, yeah. But I don't control it. It's a group thing, yeah. I advocated myself because I was champion when we got it, and I said it's going to come down to a couple of people, and a few people left, and so it's down to them. If they want to do something if they want to give it to you, they'll give it to you. I mean, you might have to sing your praises to other people apart from me because I can't do anything about it.
All right. With that,
all right, Luca. All right, Luca. You know what's about to happen. All right.
All right. With that, we have another member of the Son of Apocalypse. He is joining us before we head out. He is. Oh yeah. Well, he's Son of Apocalypse and Apocalypse. Okay. Good. He is Sean Sicario Sandberg. What's up, dude?
What's going on, Sean?
Hello.
Is he there?
Hello. Sean.
It appears not.
Might have froze up. Okay.
Well, we'll see if that clears up in a little bit.
Did you want to have any final thoughts on the championship match, Caleb?
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. I agree with Grant on the Star Trek questions. I wanted Robert to win, but you know what? We don't always get what we want, and trust me, if anyone knows that in this league, it's me. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right, so I think that's it for all of the matches that we've done in these last 2 weeks since there's been another whatever. All the matches that we've done since the Game of Factions.
Game of
That's the word
Factions.
I was trying to
Game
think
of Factions.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yeah. So
The
now,
walking factions, the factions of wars. Any
Yeah.
popular TV title, we'll just add the word faction in it. We got it. We know what you mean.
absolutely. Faction Lightning. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Black faction. We'll go with.
Black Faction. There you go.
I guess that's it. And
Interesting.
tonight we do have another TV match. Mashed potatoes. You want to tell them about it?
Oh yeah. Tonight is the second of the TV free for alls that I promised you guys like 2-3 weeks ago. Tonight's going to be Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad free for all. We've got of course Jeff Pickering, the man who was clamoring for it that whole time, and 4 other players coming in at 4 p.m. today. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, check it out. It's going to be intense. I again, just like the Arrowverse match, I think I've watched like 70% of Breaking Bad, at least this week in writing questions, and Haven's been helping me out with writing questions also. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, not too many of them go to waste.
Awesome. Well, yep, you heard it here first. 4:00 today. I guess with that out the way, King, where can the good people find you, brother?
So sorry, can I cut in for a second? Are we not going to talk about the Schmodown matches? We're not doing that anymore, or
no, because I mean we next week when Brooklyn's back, he'll do that. It's just that we just we had 2 weeks of matches to talk about in here, and it is running almost. We're almost an hour.
We're at an hour.
Hour and a half. Oh, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if Mashed Potatoes seen him and wants to talk about the matches, but I got other things to do.
I haven't seen them either. What Caleb, have you?
I have, so I can do whatever.
I mean, if you two want to chat about them real quick, that's fine with me.
If you just want, we can just talk real briefly about them.
Yeah, because I figured if we do it next week, then Brooklyn's got like 3 weeks worth of matches to do. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so which Schmodown match are we starting with? Going to when?
So it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
I believe so. So that would be.
I'm just going to jump on just to make sure that I got the right.
Like we're all doing the same thing, good old dead air, while we look up the Schmodown matches.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm pretending that I'm doing that while actually doing the exact same thing.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Because I know we had a title match with Inman and Donica.
So if we're going 2 weeks, are we going from the free for all, or are we going the two like this week's, last week's, and the week before that, or no?
I think the last one that was talked about. I think we should be up to Scream Queens and the Garden Hoses. Is what I think that would be up to.
Okay.
So we can talk about those. We can talk about Draco and Bateman. We can talk
Inman,
about
Donica, and Wolf Kalinowski.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about Kalinowski and Wolf, we can go with that one. Work our way backwards.
I think we can start with Scream Queens and Garden Hosers. That was a pretty bad match.
Okay. Here's the thing about that match. It was so entertaining, like a Michael Bay film. It was so bad. I loved every minute of it. I don't know why. I don't like bad competitors in it, but they were both terrible. But I loved them. They were just so. They had something, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and I don't know if
They had that Jay Burns quality.
I don't like. Yeah, I actually, for lack of a better word, yes.
I would just say with Garden Hostess and Scream Queens, I think the Garden Hostess were very entertaining. I didn't care for the Scream Queens as performers. They had the better knowledge than Garden Hosers. Garden Hosers to me are like a Wild Berries team that I'll watch because they're funny, but they're not as over the top as Wild Berries.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
agree.
it was just Oh, hey Sean.
Can you guys hear me?
Sean.
Oh,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Thank
there
you.
goes our monetization. Thank you.
Well, hey, welcome. We're just doing a quick recap of the Schmodown episodes as we wrap up the rewind.
All right.
We're talking about Scream Queens versus the Garden Hoses.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said, I think Garden Hosers are entertaining, like on a Wild Berries level. Scream Queens are knowledgeable, but to me, they feel like the Night Sisters, where they're just an oof team to watch. Yeah, but yeah,
I found them very boring overall.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my least favorite matches of the season so far. Because I just did my rankings of the episodes because it was a challenge on the Schmodown, and I think I put it at 24th out of 26.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on. We'll go on to Mark Andreyko versus Ben Bateman.
I think Andreyko's found his stride as a character. With this one.
Yeah, maybe so. But you know what? I cannot stand Andreyko anymore.
Why's that?
I liked him when he wrote Peter Pan, and that was about it.
Oh, Lost is dope.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? Let's see, Sean's here. What's up, brother?
Hey,
Where-
buddy, how's it going?
All right, Haven, we're just
Fantastic.
chatting about Mark Andreyko versus Ben Bateman on the Schmodown.
Oh, that was man, I love Ben Bateman. That dude's the boss.
I love Ben Bateman too. I think Ben Bateman should be running the league. Everyone's talking about Dagnito fucking running it if they get 2,100. No, give it to Bateman. Bateman is the boss. He has a briefcase.
Yeah, the boss
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
he's like developed into it so well. It's fantastic.
It
I
is
think
a hell of a
out of all
character.
the teams in the Schmodown, Team Action is the one that has found their individual characters the best. Because the top
Yep.
10, the Outlaw is great, but Mighty Matt Nost is a mediocre character.
It's
It's
funny
Team
'cause,
Action that has done the best.
No, his name's Doughboy. You can't call him that.
Joe
I think
Okay.
I think it's funny because Team Action kind of reminds me of me and the King. You know, Ben Bateman seems like he
Oh, yeah.
watched a couple matches here and took a little bit from the King character, and then Big Andrew Guy took a little bit from the villain, man. So it's cool watching those
Maybe.
guys.
but yeah, no, I really enjoy Bateman. I'm happy Andreyko beat the crap out of him though, because Andreyko is good. But I really
really
wanted he had a rough patch, and I wanted to see him come back big in a big way. I hate that he's on Fight Club. I wish he was still Lion's Den because he's such a cringy face.
He wasn't that good of a heel. He's neutral. He's a good face. He's a better face.
No,
than him.
he's a terrible heel. He's a terrible
He
face.
is. Yeah, terrible.
He's
No, he's a
terrible
good
at
face.
both. Oh my god!
He's a good kind man. I like watching him play.
You know what?
He's
you
a
know,
great
you
competitor.
want to know when Andreyko peaked is when he dressed up as Finstock. That was his best moment ever.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he lost.
And he lost to
To
Makuga.
To Makuga.
Let
Yes, indeed.
me get some water.
I personally, I kind of like Andreyko. I get what you mean, though. He is pretty dang cringy, especially as a face. I liked when he was just kind of did that like straight on like act like an android thing. That was fun for me, but like he only did that for like a couple matches. Yeah. So in terms of like being a character, he's not great, but I still like seeing him
I enjoy
play.
watching him.
Yeah. I mean, he puts up good numbers. And plays. Like he's a good player. Like he's not a top player, but he's pretty dang good.
He knows his stuff.
And as
I mean-
one of those players myself, I kind of need to support
Yeah,
that type of player.
He gets good numbers because he's got a massive nerd following when it comes to his comic book writing and that.
Well,
So,
we're talking about
That's
what he
true.
knows.
yeah.
No, yeah,
I'm
Mark.
saying when you say following,
yeah,
like people watching it. So yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's a popular person because it was the same thing. If Jeff Johns jumped in to an Inner Geekdom match, he would be one of the most popular ones. He might suck, but he would be literally one of the most popular fucking people that have ever been on the Schmoedown.
Yeah,
Of course you
true.
would. I mean, it's Jeff Johns.
Yeah, it's Jeff Johns.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's a pimp.
So that brings us to the Inner Geekdom Championship with Inman and Donica.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Grant?
I've seen that one.
I'll say one thing. I have a lot of respect for Donica's game because I think what he did and how he was able to not show any fear in the eyes of a champion was good. The fact of the matter is, it was his third match, and it was his third match in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it was. He was so green that he should never have been against Inman. That being said, I have one issue with this match. And Inman, I've been fans of Inman for God knows how long. I own every copy of Jupiter Jet that he's done as a comic book. But the Ninja Turtles one where he went Junkyard and fucking
When he
Scrapyard.
double.
Scrapyard.
yeah, two completely different things. That I went, no, that should not have been right.
Yeah.
That should not have been awarded. Apart from that, I thought it was a pretty vanilla match. There was nothing exciting. It was. I hate to use the word predictable, but it was like. I mean, when Navarro had his first defense against Jeremy Johns, it come down to the wire. It was an intense match, but this match wasn't. This was nothing.
Well, they went toe to toe the whole match. It was close. It's just I don't think Donica ever really had a shot of winning it from Inman. What are your thoughts, Sean?
I'm a little bit on the opposite side to Grant on this one. I don't really think that whether you're green or not, your knowledge is your knowledge when it comes to trivia matches. I don't really think that it's the type, like, people talk about the lights quite often, and I don't fully understand why that is. Because, you get into a situation, and if you space on a fucking question, if it's based off pressure, then that, I don't really think that is a reflection of anything that you actually know, to be honest with you. I just think it's one of those things where, like, people talk about it and they make a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. And so with Donica, I just he's green, I guess, but I don't really think it's the type of thing where I just don't feel as though he's as good as people are making him out to be. I'm going to be completely frank with you. But
All right, I'll jump. Okay.
But yeah, that's just my opinion, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll jump in and piggyback off that. Yeah, the guy won 2 matches against like new competitors. Those they haven't even been. 2 matches against new competitors because he did a 5-way match, and then he did I believe another like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like he jumped in with some newbies, and he knew his knowledge. So he won his 2 matches, and then they fed him to the champ, and he wasn't ready for that. Inman, yeah, it was kind of vanilla. I agree with Grant, because Dominic, he joined the Lions Den, but he's not that good of a heel. His trash talk is lame. He's just he's just he's gonna learn. It's only his third match, so hopefully he fits in the role and becomes better at the trash talking. And Inman is a super face, and his trash talk just sucks.
Well, no, here's the thing. I don't even think Inman's a face. That's the thing. Like no one wants to work with him. That's the weirdest thing. Like. Yeah. No one wants to work with him. He must be a dickhead behind the scenes because no one wants to be like.
I think Inman is one bad day away from becoming heel. One bad day away.
Yeah, I can see him going the
Robert
Meyer Burnett route.
For fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I can see him going Robert Meyer Burnett route. Coming back with a cape and everything.
I was literally just about to say, fucking Caleb. Are you suggesting that he's basically like Killing Joker?
Yeah, I guess he's one bad match away from being heel. He's so close. I can just see it. I can see Jason Inman becoming heel.
Would that make Navarro his Batman? Because I don't like that idea.
Well, Navarro comes back.
Navarro's such a baby face.
Maybe like Batman Beyond.
No, yeah, but I think out of the matches that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, this was the best one because what we're about to talk about next is Wolf Kalinowski.
It was easily one of the worst.
I do want to just say real quick, just like in terms of like the inner geekdom in general, like I know you guys were saying stuff about the questions and like how Donica's green and everything. Like I will agree that like it does seem like they don't have a ton of faith in that division, that they're not really like even trying to hype it in the way that they should. No, I feel like and like the level of questions that they're throwing at the people, like we're like pretty pedestrian in my opinion.
And here's the thing.
I think they were trying to rebuild it.
Yeah, because we've already had more matches. That's the difference. Sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
I agree.
I think because they've only had X amount of matches, and even in Jode itself. Now, even when it was Schmo Bros, we've already had way more matches than they've had. So the level's gotten deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper because of it. And I think that's one of the main things. So when we look at the inner geekdom for the we'll call it the big leagues, it seems less because we've already gone through these questions. We know these sort of things, and we've gone through it all. But that being said, I like what they're doing in the new one. They've got five. So it's basically the next title match. It's 5 5-man matches. I like that. So if you win your 5-man match one, then you go into the final, and then you got to win another 5-man match to face the title. So therefore, essentially, you've beaten 25 people to get there, by knowledge. That makes sense. And by the first round, they're going to have 5 matches on straight off the bat. They're going to know exactly what sort of level to put the questions at, because they're going to have X amount of questions asked. And the fact of the matter is that Inner Geekdom has been scoring the highest rating on the Schmodown page for the last year and a half now. Apart from
that's one of
matches. So
also, I'd be lying if I said that the questions that we're getting asked in Jack of All Trivia haven't been more difficult since when I started. Like I started back in November, and they are infinitely more difficult now than they were back then.
Yeah,
like, it's
absolutely.
not even close.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna chime in right quick, and I was gonna say that we actually have had more IG matches than the Schmodown. And that's why they're entering the new season. Yeah, they're entering their new season, and the format's changing. They're trying to get more people into it, and I like that they're bringing people in. But yeah, because over here, you know, the
I
questions
agree
are
with
tough
that. But
because
like, if you look at the
Also, I'm
like
not even
the
just
level
talking
of
about IG.
competition
I'm
last
talking about
year-
like movies in general. Period. Like the
Yeah,
questions that have been asked over the last couple of months for us have been fucking like they've been tough questions. Like they've been really
Oh, yeah.
difficult.
yeah, we've
So-
been involving, and that's what I'm saying. Because I'm not even that good in the IG here, you know, from start to now. You know, the questions have been getting tougher because we're asking a lot more questions, and I'm kicking ass. And when I watch the Schmodown, I'm like, fuck, you know, again, like maybe 3
Yeah.
wrong match where I'm like, shit, I could have won these fucking matches. Like, you know, literally the
Yeah.
last. I don't know if I could have beat Inman, but the first 2 matches Donica won, I could have fucking won those matches, and that's because
Yeah,
the IG questions here, you know, keep getting
the
better.
first 5 way, I agree. Yeah, I think anyone in our league, if you were to replace Donica with anyone half decent in our league, they would be in the exact same position.
Yeah, they would have picked them.
I mean, like maybe even more so. Like if you put Sandy or Robert or Grant or like shoot Sean or me, like we'd be in the same position as Donica right now in terms of like being able to answer the questions that they put up. And like, but my whole point wasn't necessarily the questions. I know I brought it up, but like I don't know. It just seems like the level of competition has dropped to me. Like, I mean, when they came in last year, like they brought in the best competitors that they could think of,
and now they bring in anyone that has numbers on their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yep. And that's kind of what I meant when I said it seems like they don't have faith in the league or that division.
And the thing is, like, we're all here because we love trivia. We love the Schmodown. That's the reason why we're all here.
100%.
And and just it makes it tough.
Agreed.
All right. Yeah.
We got our last match to go through.
So now we got Wolf Kalinowski as the last one that we have to talk about. I'll just say I love Clark. She definitely deserves a title match. But I don't know why we keep putting Kalinowski in these positions. I don't know. But Wolf, yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I thought you finished, buddy. You go.
Okay. No, but yeah, Wolf. I get why Emma picked Kalinowski now because that was the easiest way to the title right there. But Wolf, I mean, Kalinowski played all right in that first round. That second round was strong, but Wolf is just dominant. Wolf is just really good.
Okay. I'm going to cut you off there. Wolf is not really good. Wolf is lucky. Wolf thing is she gets like the fact of the matter is that she got her major category where Kalinowski didn't. And that being said,
how easy were those questions?
That's exactly right.
Those horror questions were so fucking easy.
They weren't easy to me because I didn't know anything about it, so I don't.
I don't.
It was
watch
impressive
horror.
to me.
I'm not a horror sort of person. I don't like horror. I think horror is I think horror is the kiddies version of movies, and I knew every single one of those questions.
Horror is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's everyone has their opinion. Like people hate comic book movies. I love comic book movies. And things like, but I don't like horror. I think horror. I don't care. I don't watch horror. I haven't even seen Get Out, which is what everyone's telling me I need to see. I haven't even seen it. I've just looked at it on IMDb, and I know different parts of it. So that's for me. Yet that being said, I knew every single one of those, and this is from a person who gets horror every single match that she's been in.
Yep.
Every single match, and she gets those ones, and then her 5-point question was the fucking co-star of like wait, not some random. No, I'm not saying that the Schmodown has some sort of agenda or anything, but the way in which questions were asked, it makes the idea when someone says it not seem crazy.
I disagree. I don't know. I just think I think in this match, you know, since the three-way match that they had before when she pretty much killed Mike. You know, I guess she was hungry and went back for leftovers. You know, she still has some meat on that bone, and she wanted to tear his ass apart one more time, and she did. And
But no,
you know, now
did she?
she's gonna fight the champion.
She didn't tear his ass apart. She had a number one contender match, and she picked him. He was way below her, and she only beat him purely.
He's ranked above her. He's ranked 4. She was ranked 5.
No. She had the number one contender match. She had the
She
had the thing. Therefore, she's ahead. She already has it.
Okay,
She picks it. So yeah. But yeah, it was just like, I mean, I picked Clark to win. I thought Clark was going to win easily. Didn't think for a second Kalinowski was going to win. That being said, the questions that were asked, the disparity between the two of them, they can say, "Oh well, it just comes down to luck." There's something that's there's something that's a bit. I'm not going to use the word sus, but yeah, it makes you think.
I'll say this about the Wolf Kalinowski match. I think Wolf was the right choice for the number one contender match because this is her last shot. Probably, definitely, because she played Sam once to get to Merle, and Merle beat her. Because it's Merle. But I do think Wolf's a good competitor. I love watching Wolf, and I'm excited to see her get another title shot. She's gonna lose. But I liked seeing it. This was not a good match. But yeah, Kalinowski, I feel for the guy. I do feel for the guy because they keep putting him in all these situations to succeed, and he just can't. He just can't succeed. I feel for the guy.
Yeah, he's like the 1, 2, 3 kid, so he gets a big win. And
I mean,
moving up.
At the moment, he's the gatekeeper of any division.
Yeah,
but I mean, here's the thing: they keep putting these women up against Sam Levine. How long is it going to be before he's accused of battery? Because I mean, the amount of times that he's going to beat these women down, like, it's just like, hey, Clark Wolfie's not even going to get close. Like, Sam Levine has gotten so much better. He's made this, like, he's a professional actor, yet he's made this his number one goal while he's not working.
Hey, I got a suggestion I want to throw out there before we get back to it. And this is for you, Christian Harloff. You know, if the guys ain't up to par, you go, we send them here, like your D League. We could be your NXT to your Monday Night Raw, brother. You know, they get some matches here. You know, they get some wins. You bring them back to the Schmodown. Think about it, brother. Holla at us.
Let's just have a Royal Rumble, and one person gets to get thrown into the free for all and see how we go. Why not?
Throw me in so you can just laugh. Throw me in for a good laugh.
Hey,
yeah. Anyway,
don't fucking bag on yourself that much, dude. You're a good competitor.
You're a great competitor, man.
Well, thank you. But yeah,
come on, Spider-Man, you're better than that.
But yeah, I think this match was it was a little rough to watch, but I do think I'm glad to see Wolf get one more shot. I'm glad she gets one more shot.
Her last shot, because she wasn't even on the radar. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
And the worst thing about it is, I think the biggest misstep of the entire thing, from the whole thing, it should have been saved for the Shire Wolves.
I think they can get there on their own, though. I think this was the right choice because
I don't think they're going to get there on their own. I think they're going to get close. But I think they're going to run into it. They're going to run into one of these stronger teams because they are so similar to each other. I think skipping ahead would have been the perfect idea because on the off chance that they were able to pull it off. I mean,
they're going to have to play above the line now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine if they beat above the line? Holy shit! The only other people to do that is the greatest team of all time. Like, if they did that, everyone would be rooting for them. Like Kalinowski was weird that no one was going for it. Now imagine that they legitimately beat someone.
Well, they're going to be tag teams. They'll probably play above the line soon. You know, they'll just get there on their own.
No, above the line's going to beat the Patriot. That's what's going to happen.
Nah.
Maybe. I don't know. The
This
Patriots
time
have
they are.
literally they've won every single match they've been in.
Yeah.
Put it this way,
At this point, I
there's
think
only
they're
one
going to
match
retire
the
that
Patriots
belt.
should have lost, and that was against Modoc, because Modoc acted like idiots. And they went, well, I think it's going to be this one, and they lost fucking 2 points twice.
They didn't understand the rules. That's why I think
that's
I
exactly
think
right.
they should have the teams watch the championship
Yeah.
match because the rounds are different.
That's what it was.
You know,
But I do think Above the Line can win. I really do believe Above the Line can be the ones to dethrone the Patriots.
They can be, but it's will they? That's the whole thing. It's like I
do think so. I think McWeenie is starving.
They're probably my favorite team. Like,
They're
outside
mine.
of the schmoes themselves. Like, but the whole thing is, are they actually going to pull it off? I don't know. Like, I really
think
don't
McWeenie is starving. I think if he can get Levine to buck up a bit in the team league again, I think they can just dominate when they show up again in 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah,
Here's the thing about like Above the Line though, like a lot of their wins, I'm not gonna say that like it's but like a lot of it is that they've got luck and they've gotten like
They've either got spinner's choice or they've got 80s or
yeah.
70s. I agree with you. I know. Yeah, I agree.
So many times, like, so I mean, when you've got the Patriots, like taking that option off the board, it does, like, I imagine, affect your gameplay a little.
but they did. They took that. They took them off the board. They took them off the board for that title match, and it came down to the last
and
question.
they still won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the same with Modoc. It came down to one question.
Yeah, but Modoc.
I think Above the Line and Modoc.
The different was Modoc was more likely to win. So.
Yeah, I think. We jump in again. Does anybody have any final thoughts on the number one contenders match they had before we head out?
Nah, it was all right.
I feel sorry for the fact of the matter is that Clark's gonna have to go up against Levine when Levine's at his best.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Levine's and Wolf's in her twilight.
Now.
Yeah,
Wolf's in her twilight. So.
Yeah, I mean, which is insane to say when she came in as Rookie of the Year, and then like is now like is like a year and a half later or something like that is like is an old dog. Like that's
she lost to Miss Movies, and Miss Movies, that was a big joke until Miss Movies won the free for all.
Yep.
So I guess that loss against her doesn't mean as not as bad as what it would be if she didn't win. And that's purely only by random happenstance, I think.
Yeah.
So that being said, I think I think no matter what happens on this the next match, whether it's whoever wins, whether it's Wolf or Levine, it's going to be a double title match.
Yeah,
she's going to go for it straight away. She's not going to hold back on it. I can tell you that right now. She's not going to hold back on it.
Yeah, true.
Brienne?
Yeah.
Brienne, yeah.
Oh, triple threat, you mean? Okay.
No, not triple threat. No.
She's
gonna do what Levine did.
The cash. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'd be tight.
And here's the thing, like Levine did it, and he lost, but then still managed to come back and win, and that shows the quality of the player that he is and how much he grew.
Mind you, he also lost to the greatest Schmodown competitor of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Damn,
like it's not even close.
Yeah, it's Merle. Merle's the GOAT.
Yeah,
Merle.
So I want, which is why when I think when Merle comes back and kills Guy, when Merle comes back and murders Guy, I'm gonna laugh.
Oh. No, I don't want that.
No, Guy's gonna take him out.
I've got the dumb. Yes, I agree with what he was saying. I got the worst. Like, what happens if he comes back and Guy beats him, or Guy doesn't lose? It comes back to like it's such a really close round. I'm like, Andrew Guy, like, that's the person that the greatest of all time.
You and I have had private conversations where you've talked about, not just Andrew Guy's abilities, but let's be real about this. the fact that Ben Bateman has outscored him in every single match.
Bateman needs to
When
get a
they've
new
done
partner.
team matches,
Yeah.
Bateman has like been the guy that carries that team. But
Bateman was like what Dewberry was for ETC.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
had more
but-
single matches too, Ben Bateman. So he's getting more experience.
Bateman's great. Like Bateman is like if you ever listen to his Anatomy of Action films, the stuff that he goes through and the stuff that he knows, it's incredible. Like he's an insanely intelligent bloke. And he's a person that I think that like I love his kayfabe and he's the boss thing. I really think that he's going to be a champion of something. Whether it's like I really I think he will definitely be a champion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
definitely.
that's,
I think he's in it for the
to
long
wrap
haul
up.
for sure.
I think this is a good place to wrap up.
True.
agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Haven
let's go
takes out.
All right, guys, let's go down the line to Mashed Potatoes. Where can they find you, brother?
Real quick shout out to Paul and Malcolm in the chat. They're the only two that are still watching that aren't Sean and Grant.
Nice.
You can find me on Facebook. I am Caleb H, and on Twitter at the Caleb Hansen. But all I ever do is retweet Jack of All Trivia, so follow Jack of All Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Give us a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And tune in to the Breaking Bad match at 4.
Awesome. King.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Caleb Coho, KalebKoho. You can find me on YouTube, Caleb Coho, where I do all my music stuff, Coho Productions, where I do all my film stuff. My group, The Forks, put out our rap album Shoot for Teams on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. If you want to go support that, that helps me pay for my gas money. And you can find me right here being the king on Jack of All Trivia and hopefully getting a number one contenders match out of Apocalypse's hands.
And
Please, Grant. Please,
let's go
Luca.
to
I will
Grant.
do anything.
Let's go to Grant. Oh, nothing for Sean. Huh? Well, nothing for Sean, huh?
You can find me anywhere there's good trivia, and I'll reiterate. I got Caleb's album. It is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So spend your money on that. It's well worth the money. It is fantastic. Just want to thank everyone for having a chat, and watch
Awesome.
Jack of All Trivia.
And Sicario.
Okay, you can find me at Sean Sandberg on Twitter. You can find me at Sean Sandberg on Facebook. Join up with the Deep Cuts Movie League, I guess, because we're going to be throwing shit down in the next little bit. Also, I concur with Grant's sentiment about checking out Caleb's new album with the Forks. Please go check that out because it is actually fantastic. I've listened to a whole bunch of it, and the guy really is a fantastic musician. So go do that. And support Jack of All Trivia.
Awesome. And I am Haven Pendergast. You can catch us at Jack of All Trivia everywhere that Caleb said. YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. We can put you in matches. Subscribe to the channels. And man, Shoot for Teams. Go get that album, man. These guys,
Fuck yeah.
they're really fucking lyricists.
Okay, now I'm going to retroactively come in and also plug Shoot for Teams.
There it is.
Because
There it is.
I've also listened to it. It's
Yes.
freaking awesome.
Shoot for Teams. Homeboy, it's a Tuesday. All right. Take us out.
All right. And so that'll be it for us until 4 o'clock when we have a Breaking Bad match. Peace out.
Bye.